if you want to ask me, there is one kind of big question that's out there, and sure, there can be many of them. Oh, did you hear that? My voice just gone. There are many questions, but there's one thing that I've been so curious about because we see the mass exodus of talent at the wide receiver position. We see the rookies come in, but that seems to be the focal point. But the question I have is the offense better than it was at this time last year? And I think I can make the argument that it is. And in this video, we're going to talk about that. We're going to go position by position. And Chargers Wire did a great job of actually breaking this down. And we'll go into it even a little bit deeper as we look to see, are the Chargers better or worse on offense going into this year? And I think there's a couple of X factors that you have to factor in a little bit that changed this and definitely reeled it to the positive side. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right. Head of training camp, quarterback. They re-signed Easton Stick. They still have Justin Herbert. Summary, they're the same. All right. But I'm going to make an argument later that it's better. You're going to have to stick around to hear why. But Herbert is coming off a down year, injuries. We understand that. All right. Both hands. That's not good. When you hurt your throwing hand, see ya. That's the end of the season. All right. Also, Herbert was sitting there just having to make play after play after play while running for his life. All right. I think he is better just by the fact that the line's better, but I don't want to spoil anything. All right. Is the line better or not? All right. The next place we have to go is running back. All right. What is your belief on running back? Are they better or are they worse? You got to watch Austin Eckler for a long time. You lost him. You gained Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, and you drafted Kamani Vidal. All right, so here's the summary here. After playing with the Chargers for 7 seasons, Eckler departed and eventually reunited with former head coach Anthony Lynn. All right, Anthony Lynn. Oh, my goodness, that guy. All right, like running game coordinator, he can do a little bit. Like, he's fine there. He knows how to have a good run game for the most part, but what a bad coach. Oh, and we feel your pain. If you don't know about us, like we started our first channel with Sports Talk Detroit. That's why you see the Lions gear in the back. Like, we know the pain of Anthony Lynn. I thought when we were getting him as our offensive coordinator 3 years ago, I'm like, former head coach, right? You did fine. He'll be a great OC for the Lions. He was awful. Complete garbage, just in case you're wondering. But he can have decent running backs. All right? The vision of offense of pounding the rock and wearing defenses on the ground, that wasn't there before. But it is now. It is now. And when you combine that with Greg Roman's power slap gap scheme, you have 3 running backs in Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, and Kamani Vidal that absolutely fit into that scheme. All right, the amount of rush yards that you had last year for this team was terrible. Like, there were games where you rushed the rock like crazy, 2 or 3 games, and then the rest of them, you may as well have not had a running game. Like, you could get 2 yards per tote. Like, it was absolutely crazy, and it was because of poor schemes running the football and an offensive line that wasn't up to snuff. So the verdict in this is better, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to agree. And I don't think that the running backs are necessarily better. I think a year ago, everybody would have said, I'd rather have Austin Eckler. But based on what he signed for and Edwards and Dobbins, like, they're all viewed as kind of equal. I think Eckler has entered the time in his career where he's a third down back. Whereas Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins when healthy, are, you can give him the ball. Gus Edwards is a running back who runs the ball when it's running plays. I know everything I just said sounds obvious, so let me clear that up and make that a little bit better for you. What I mean by that is he's the running back who can get yards in obvious running situations. J.K. Dobbins is an all-purpose back. He's really good, and that's what I think they're hoping for Vidal. I think it's better. All right, what about the wide receiver position? Do we even need to talk about this that long? Right? Keenan Allen was traded to the Bears, 4th-round pick. Mike Williams signed with the Jets. All right, so they're gone. You drafted Ladd McConkey, Cornelius Johnson, and Brendan Rice. You signed DJ Chark. Here's my out-of-the-box take for that. Ladd McConkey, if healthy, and I know that's a big if always, all right, he is going to amaze you with his production. In 2 to 3 years, even at times this year, it is going to make you, and I know this is going to seem like blasphemy on a Chargers channel, it's going to make you almost forget about Keenan Allen. It really is. He is that good. Ladd McConkey is special, and he is going to do some nasty things out of the slot, and him and Herbert are going to become one of the best combos. The question is, how do you replace Mike Williams? And the answer is you don't. But hopefully whoever's going to play on the outside will be able to stay healthy, because I think Mike Williams was a good player. I really, really do. He just struggled staying healthy, but it is worse. It just flat out is worse at the wide receiver position. You can't project Ladd McConkey to be Keenan Allen. Like, you can't say that he'll be that his rookie year, because he won't be. Still, I draft him in fantasy football to see if he's available to you. All right, honestly, behind kind of the big three, Ladd McConkey is like my favorite choice. I might like him more than Worthy. I might like him more than Keon Coleman. I really would. And so, like, that is the guy. I think I like him more than Brian Thomas Jr. So, yeah, McConkey's good, but I can't sit there and say it's that good. All right, tight end. You lost Gerald Everett, all right, but you signed Will Dissly and Hayden Hurst. So Dissly is your really good blocking tight end, almost like another tackle out there. He's one of the few guys, the few tight ends, there's not even a handful of them, that block at such a high level, it almost hurts. All right, and no pun intended with Hayden Hurst. All right, who's going to be more of your receiving thing, and you still have Donald Parham Jr. So I'm going to make the argument that the combo of Dissly and Hurst is better than Gerald Everett. You still have Parham. That is a better tight end room than before, and this article agrees with me. It's better. All right, then you have the offensive line. You lost Corey Linsley, but it's not fair because he barely played last year. By the end of the year, the last, 10, 11, 12, 15 games, I don't know what it was, he didn't play. All right, and then you drafted Joe Alt. And this article, I'm just going to give you a verdict here. It says slightly better. That's bull malarkey. That's crap, right? Like, this offensive line is extremely better. Joe Alt is a huge upgrade over Pipkins. Pipkins moving to the inside is a huge upgrade at guard over whoever he's going to end up replacing. And I'm just telling you, like, they're not even factoring in a new center, which is Bozeman, and he is going to be better than anything that was at center last year. So this offensive line stayed the same in two positions. All right. You know, with Zion Johnson and at left tackle, they're the same. And that was the strength last year. And then the other three positions are moderate to massive upgrades. This is not a verdict of slightly better. This is an offensive line that's better. And if you've heard my take over the years, then what you know is if you have an elite offensive line, a top 5 offensive line, they make everybody on the offense better. And so I think there are 2 cogs in this that make this offense better than it was last year. All right, 2 or 3. Number 1, the offensive line is greatly improved, and when you have the same quarterback who is very good, it makes an upgrade at quarterback. He is now a better quarterback because he has more time to do what he has to do. So your offensive line upgrades your quarterback. And that is one reason why I think they're better overall than they were last year. Number 2, better coach. Right? You have a proven offensive coordinator and you have a proven head coach that have been winners in this league. They've never had gangbusters offense that are going to put up 35 points a game. That's not what they're doing. This isn't a team that's going to be leading the league in points per game. This is going to be an offense that's going to be efficient in what they do and therefore be a great offense. They might only average 25 points a game or 24 or 23 points a game, but they're going to dominate more time of possession. They're going to put their defense in good positions, and they're going to be efficient. All right. I think the offense is better than it was last year. That's enough for me. I'm all done. Happy July. Oh, I can't wait till training camp. I can't wait till we can watch some preseason games. And we're 2 months out from the regular season. We're getting there, people. See ya.